Hello. So today I'm going to be talking about journey mapping and the process of it, more specifically, actually creating your not physical, but visual journey map itself. So this is the last step in the process of your data analysis and whole analysis project essentially. So you obviously have your preparation, your actual data collection where you are doing it, your organization of your data, and then this is where you put it into view for whoever your audience is. So with that being said, I want to talk about the example I'll be using today to kind of help you through this. And that is that we are going to be using a high fidelity map. A high fidelity map is essentially just one that has all of your data points kind of compiled into one. So that let's say you were to turn this into as an assignment, this could be your entire photo that you just send in. It's got your phases that you went through. It's got your swim lanes of that's all of the things that you did to help your whoever you were mapping, whoever's journey you were mapping, really go through all of those phases. And this is where you get to display it and just completely turn it in. So for our example today, we are using sophomore experience through the University of Idaho. So sophomore students we mapped their journey in my group. And so that will be kind of my basis if I refer to that of going off of. So I'm going to show you how to create the journey map in its whole and also just kind of give you some tips and tricks on what you should look for and what to do and what not to do. And then I'll maybe show you a little bit about a low fidelity map at the very end of this video. So if that's what you're looking for, you can skip there. All right. So the first step is to create an Excel sheet. Phases in Excel like this is going to be your very, very best friend. So a good way to go about making this is to make it look almost exactly like a sticky note activity. If by chance that's what you did, our group did a sticky note activity on the board and all these phases were put across an entire whiteboard. And this is basically, when looking at this, this is what basically was on the entire whiteboard when you looked at it. So if that helps, by all means. Your second step, you want to make sure you label out all of your phases. You'll create in that cell, make it big, color code each of them so you can follow along, especially for the color of your sticky notes, and make your phases all one thing because that's what you're going to be mapping is over that time period. We're a little less worried about what your swim lanes were in this section. And then the third step is that you could basically leave it like this, right? This has all of your information on it, and you are going to take your pain and gain points, or maybe the highs and lows, or if you were not mapping something that has highs and lows, someone's experience that doesn't really have that, then what you could do is always just pick out your high points. As you can see, some of these have multiple ones in them, and that's what you want to keep going. My fourth step would be if you're going to do a low fidelity map. And your low fidelity map looks like one like this. It actually maps that journey. This is what we kind of refer to as an elementary version of a high fidelity map. They're just two different maps, but it's really nice to go about this because this is super easy on the eyes. And as you can see, it's much like your Excel sheet. You take some of your points that you have in each box and you can still make those points on here. It's just much easier to actually see that journey. And obviously you can quote them as this example shows. So what you can do also in Excel to make this a little bit easier is that you can go to Excel and up at the top, you have a little draw button right next to the help. And what you can do is make a cell in between your pain and gain and your feeling swim lanes right there for our example. And you can make one in between there so that you can physically draw all of your points. Now I say pain and gain points because for our students' experience, they had highs and they had lows. So we wanted to make all of those noticeable. Hence why there are highs like this number 3 and lows like this number 5. So that's very important in making sure that curve goes. But if we go back to our Excel, you can make sure you put it in between there and really map out all of those. And that is kind of all that there is to it. Color coordination is super easy, and depending on your audience, is how I would choose to go between a high fidelity or a low fidelity map.